and welcome to the channel, and today's episode is inspired by Olivia Solomon's question on how to use Zoom for online teaching. And since my mom has been asking me the same question, I decided that I could give it a go. My mom is a higher math teacher, so it will be pretty tricky for her to teach through internet. But if you're an English teacher or any other sort of teacher who doesn't need to write formulas all the time in order to explain those formulas to your students, this will be way easier. But before we jump into our tutorial, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon right next to it, because on this channel we discuss everything related to online careers, work-at-home careers, IT jobs, IT businesses and online businesses, and overall productivity hacks. So you might like to stick here to this channel and check out all the other amazing episodes here. So after you click the red subscribe button, let's dive into our tutorial. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to download a desktop version of Zoom. You can use Zoom in your browser, but I strongly recommend you to use a desktop app. I have already downloaded and installed this app. I use it for business. So yes, I already have it settled. In your case, it's pretty easy. You go to zoom.us to download section and you choose whatever option you need for Mac, for Windows, for whatever option you need. So as soon as you have it downloaded, you go to your Zoom. You have this, let me put it here. You have this nice icon, Zoom, on your desktop, and you go in your desktop app. And let's run through each features just for a little while. Okay, so let's start with the first feature, and that is starting a new meeting, meaning that you can start this meeting straight away. For example, a student has asked you to start your lesson right now. He has time right now, or you rescheduled, and you just both are online and you can start a new meeting. You click on this one, and yes, you can see join with computer audio. I will not join with computer and audio because I'm currently already using my audio. Here is a chat. Here is the chat where we can type in, for example, "Hi John, how are you?" Yeah. Here you can manage participants, meaning that you can manage whoever is joining the chat. But since it will be only you and another student who will be joining your lesson, for example, you will be able to either mute this person so that you won't hear his voice, for example, if you don't want for him to talk right now, and or mute his camera or whatever. And yes, here's where you can actually start your lesson. For example, do the listening part or the reading part or whatever you need. Or check the homework of that student. He can bring it to your screen and show it, or tell you a poem or whatever it was, his homework, right? If you need to explain some new topics and you need to share your screen, here's how you can do that. Here you see different tabs. Like I mentioned, here's chat, right? You can go to chat and you can write down whatever you need. You can manage participants, but it will be only 2 people in private lessons. Or it will, if you're managing a group of students, then all of the students will be here. And again, you can mute them or unmute them. For example, you can mute all of them so that they don't disturb you managing your lesson, and then unmute the student you are asking a question. For example, John, can you answer this question? And you unmute this person. And if you need to share some presentation and to explain some new topics to the students, you share your screen. Here it is. For example, I want to share, let me, whiteboard, yeah? I want to share my whiteboard. And I want to do it this way. For example, let me explain you this topic. John, can you see me, right? Of course, you might want to prepare a presentation in PDF in advance so that you don't actually have to do it manually, because it will take a lot of time. And yes, you have a limited time in Zoom for group meetings. For group meetings, it's 40 minutes. For one-to-one meetings, I presume it's currently unlimited. Okay, and I want, for example, to write down noun. It is a word, blah, 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 whatever you want the student to write down. So you can use a whiteboard for that case, or you can use a presentation. For example, you have prepared a presentation and you can show the slides to the student. And if you want to ask him something, you can close the whiteboard, you cannot close the whiteboard, and go back to the lesson and go back to one-to-one interaction. So this is the first way of doing it, starting meeting straight away. Now let's consider the second way. Let me end this meeting, and I want to end it for all. Of course, I don't want anyone to be in my room when I leave. The next feature that you might want to consider is schedule a meeting. Let's go to this one. For example, I want to schedule a meeting with a student, and you actually want to do that 45 minutes. And I want it on Monday at 12 p.m., for example. Require meeting passwords. Okay, so let it be this way, but I can just remove this one, to be honest. Without passwords, it will be much easier for your students to enter. Video host on, off, it doesn't matter. You can turn your video on or off at any time of your meeting. And yes, you can set the settings that a student can enter with both his telephone and computer audio. And calendar, you can choose calendar. I use other calendars, and schedule. So here you can now copy it and send it to your student in Telegram or whatever messenger you're using. And by clicking on this link, he will be directed to your meeting. So I want to schedule yet another lesson, right? I want to schedule yet another lesson on Monday. Yes, I have 2 students and I scheduled, and again I copied and I sent all of this information to the student so that he could enter our conference by clicking on this link. Okay, I scheduled 2 meetings. Now, you see this tab. You go to meetings and you see that you have 2 scheduled meetings. One is at 12 p.m. on Monday, and the second one is on 1 p.m. on Monday. So as soon as you have time, for example, on Monday, I want to start this meeting, you simply click start. And that's where your lesson will begin again. You can, of course, you join with computer audio. I won't do this right now because I'm using my computer audio. And you can start the video so that to welcome your student while you're talking, or to just welcome your student. And yes, you can write something like, John, let me know when you're ready. Yeah, something like that. And again, you can either first do the talking part, then share your screen and share some presentation that you have done in your PDF. Again, share the whiteboard and you can both write on this whiteboard and so on. Another option here is for you to allow a student to share his or her screen. So this is it. So you click on this one, multiple participants can share simultaneously, or click on the advanced settings. And again, who can share? Only host, all participants. Yes, and then that person will be able to share his or her screen. And if he was given, for example, a homework to do, and he can share his results, and you can, check it online. So this is how it's done. Let me end my meeting. So I'm ending my meeting. I want to end it for all. So this is how it's done. You can also put in here some context, but it's not necessary. It's just another option that you can do. So yes, this is how it's done. You either start the meeting straight away, or you schedule, which is more preferable because it looks more professional. You can schedule your meeting with that student, and then you will see all the scheduled meetings here. So you can schedule your lessons with your students for the entire week ahead, and you can actually call it, for example, I wanted a lesson with John. I just like this name. And you can, but the credentials are the same. You can copy them again and send them. And here is a lesson is April, and save it. And this way you will see your schedule straight away. Another great feature that I wanted to share with you is an ability to record your video, your lesson. And you can do that by clicking on the record. He or she will see that your lesson is being recorded. You can either pause your recording or stop recording. Let me stop the recording. And this way your student will be able to rewatch your lesson so that he will be able to again reapproach the topics that you have been discussing. Not only this, you can also send this recording, for example, to the parents of your student if this is a younger student. Of course, when you're just starting out your lesson, make sure to check your audio, your video, everything that you need to be checked so that you could hear the person and the person could hear you. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have, make sure to grab your bonus, a daily planner for work-at-home professionals. The link is in the description below. It's free, so make sure to grab your copy. Thanks for watching till the very end. Make sure to subscribe if you still haven't, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!